Tyrese Haliburton put on an amazing postseason run and became a household name after the 2025 NBA playoffs. That Pacers team is great due to his exceptional playmaking, and time again, I have seen people just not like Tyrese's game, or it isn't viewed as impactful, even being called the most overrated player in the NBA by his peers. Tyrese's game is one of the rare games in the NBA to where his playmaking talent, above all, pacing and capable scoring tools, makes him a top option. The best way to truly appreciate Tyrese's game is to view him in the lens of a Rajon Rondo or Clippers Chris Paul, in the sense of these guys are looking to set up their teammates above all. They will make their teammates' lives easier above all rather than looking to be a scorer. We are in an era of basketball where a lot of guards in the league are score first, pass second, or they use the gravity of their scoring to make plays for others. We don't see many guys come into the league like a Tyrese, who is a pure pass first guy and shot creator second. And I think that's why people can't really wrap their minds about him. The Pacers have a great all-around core of scorers, shooters, capable cutters, and movers to where it's Tyrese's main job to connect all of that. If you're expecting Tyrese to be hezzy, tween, cross, pull, score, and be the main scorer night in and night out, you're going to be disappointed. That's not Tyrese's main squeeze, and that is okay. I mentioned Clippers Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo because these guys didn't always have high scoring numbers, but had rather high assist numbers or potential assists, and their passing is what connected the whole team together. The threat of Tyrese's passing and overall playmaking helps in his scoring, and we have been so used to players being the other way around, where the threat of a player's scoring opens up their passing game. Now, I'm not going to be all lovey of Haliburton. There is fair criticism in the sense of he is a main option on the Pacers. You want him to get going consistently and not really have low scoring games. Fair. That is fair. The brother is 25 years old, still time to flesh out more of the scoring in his game. And he had a weird start to the season where he started off pretty slow, but then he picked it up down the stretch. There's moments in the game where he can get quiet, not too assertive, but he does turn up down the stretch. But you kind of do want to see him be a scoring threat right off the jump. I get that. Tyrese is a really good three-point shooter, 43% off the catch on 2 attempts a game, and 37% off the dribble on 5 attempts a game. Another unconventional aspect of Tyrese's game is the jump shooting. Now, I've been a heavy advocate of if someone is comfortable with their shooting form, no matter how it looks, and that shot produces results, go for it. There's nothing wrong with Tyrese's shot, but it's kind of just the wind up into his shot that slows down everything. This hurts him in the sense of being able to create one-on-one consistently and rise up into that jumper quickly. He isn't quite comfortable with that unless if you are just giving him a ton of space. He really needs screens to find those angles in the defense to attack, and if the defense goes under, I think he is really good in quickly processing that and getting right into his jump shot. He is a very confident shooter, and he has some very deep range where he can hit some bombs from 3. The threat of that 3 ball forces defenses to really have to go over his screens, which opens up his ability to get downhill. If he drives against the defense with a screen of Siakam, he is engaging the secondary defender and beaming a pocket pass to Siakam. With Haliburton, he is so good playing with screens. His teammates are good in continuously screening for Holly until he finds that opening, and if the defender doesn't recover, he is getting into a 3, or if the defense plays in aggressive coverage, he is good throwing the ball to the roller or finding the popper. The 5-out spacing that the Pacers operate with maximizes Holly's playmaking capabilities. His connection with Miles Turner has been vital because Holly is also a threat to turn the corner, get downhill, and attack a drop coverage defender. Holly can rely mostly on in-rhythm floaters in space, or at times try for pull-up mid-range jumpers. Those mid-range jumpers are still in development for him given the shot speed, but if he is coming off a screen with a ton of space and no one is recovering, he will get into that jumper. The floater has been a very necessary tool in his game to get off quick shots. It's tough playing drop coverage because he can also swing the pass back up to a poppin' Miles Turner who shoots close to 40% from deep. Holly is very comfortable using hezzies to bait defenders, rejecting screens, or putting his defender in jail, and he is quick in recognizing where the gap help is coming from or where the low man help is coming from and making a quick pass to a shooter. If you defend him at the level of the screen, he is good quickly finding the roller with a lob or overhead pass to get them in the short roll, or he can read that weak side and beam a skip pass in those coverages. Plays like this where he comes off a screen, the defense isn't playing him tight, Brook is at the level of the screen, he engages Brook by driving in on him so that Brook can be focused on helping on the drive, and knowing he is driving in traffic, he has a handle and quick-witted passing to beam a pass to Turner, and since Tyrese dragged Brook further away from Turner, it's a slow recovery back out to him. The ability to engage that secondary defender getting closer to the rim or stalling out his dribble wide to pull that big man away from their man really helps create open shots for his teammates. He's also a threat to reject screens, and in situations like that, the big off those screens almost always helps, which creates a panic switch or 2 on the ball, leaving the popper open. If defenses throw double teams at him, he is really good at pulling the double out and locating the open man.
Caruso was all up on Haliburton. Siakam lowers the shoulder, and
if defenses switches, well, he's good utilizing those hezzies and has really good pacing, knowing when to accelerate or decelerate and attacking mismatches when getting downhill. He comes off the screen here and gets free for a 3. The threat of his 3 ball brought 3 defenders towards him, which opened up the bounce pass to the roller. That's just the gravity of how lethal and how much of a threat his 3 ball is. One of the most important things to note about the Pacers is that in early offense situations or semi-transition, they are quick to get into their sets. So it's not always mindless dribbling that they do, unless if it's just a defense that switches everything. Here they go into Spain with 22 seconds left on the clock, and the threat of Holly getting downhill forces the big to stay attached to Holly, and when he gets back screened, he is completely out of the play, which leaves Siakam open on the pop. The Pacers also like to play with the threat of these ghost screens of guards where the guard will come up and fake as if he is sending a screen and pop into space. This can turn into a 3-man action where the big Thomas Bryant sets a flare screen for Nembhard off that ghost action. The Pacers also could play random at times. The threat of Holly's ball screens is really what opens this up to where Holly can come up, and it looks like this is going to be a double ball screen for Holly going right, but he just hits this pass up to Turner, and this turns into a zoom action, a down screen into a handoff to get Bridges trailing and Holly getting downhill against Cat and hitting this dump off pass. Just the quickness of how the Pacers can get a shot up spearheaded by a Tyrese ball screen or him pushing the pace with hit-ahead passes creates quick and efficient offense that also can be demoralizing to defenses. Some offenses take a while to generate because of the lack of a go-to play or a high-level creator, which could lead to forced shots. And sometimes these passes may look simple or not really much of an advantage created, but a lot of times the accuracy on his passes gets these guys in rhythm to drive a closeout or get a shot off. Getting your teammates in rhythm off a pass is probably one of the more underrated skills of passing, and guys like James Harden is a master at it. Just the ability for guys to not fumble their dribble or lose time trying to get the ball is a valuable skill, and I think Tyrese really excels in that. His passes aren't always flashy, but it does lead to high quality shots, and sometimes that's just a simple pass to make. There's not really one good coverage to play Holly, which is crazy because you wouldn't consider him an elite scorer, but his passing and team construction is so great that he has an answer for everything thrown at him. The Pacers had some of the quickest transition offenses in the league, and that was large part due to Holly. Whether if it's off a miss or make, Tyrese is great at locking on to teammates, leaking out, and beaming some of the most accurate transition passes you will ever see. He always sees the rim runner, and having a guy like Obi Toppin is the perfect pairing for Holly, someone who's a threat to leak out no matter what early. Holly always keeps his head up, and he doesn't just beam this to Obi, but instead to a designated spot to where Obi can get the ball and lay it right up. And it's not even the hit ahead. Sometimes it's just coming down the floor here and seeing options. Okay, I have a man in front of me. Brook is with Pascal. Kuzma is sliding to stop Turner. The man on the wing is open. Transition is where the defense is not always going to be set, and the Pacers are at their best when they get a shot up quickly, so these situations are probably the best time to strike for an offense, and Tyrese can fire some clean hit ahead passes early in the offense. His vision, pacing, and patience is elite, and he has some playmaking manipulation in his game to where he can find an open man that no one is expecting. Beaming passes cross court to shooters and making clean, accurate passes to shooters to get them in rhythm. 6'5" is a great height for a point guard, being able to see over the defense. And he also has that jump pass to give him more time when he is in traffic and beaming an accurate pass. The Pacers offense is just a well-oiled machine, fueled by a very willing playmaker who plays a very efficient brand of basketball with a 61% true shooting percentage that averages 9 assists and only 1.6 turnovers a game. Hali doesn't get to the rim often. He operates at a 14% frequency, but when he does, he shoots 72% at the rim when he gets there. He does have a crossover he can get to carve out some angles to attack one-on-one. It doesn't always create an advantage or space to get deep inside, but he does it more so to open up the hips of the defender so that he can have an easier time attacking them. And you can see that when he uses a pullback dribble so that the defender can step up, and then that's where he can attack. He doesn't force the issue attacking inside. If he sees a big in help early, which I don't blame him at times, he really plays things out safe. He has the burst and control on his handle to get through tight gaps, and he handles pressure well. He isn't much of a contact initiator or finishes through contact much, which reflects in the low free throw attempts, but he plays with a lot of early finishes, utilizing scoops, and he has some really good body control when he's in the air. You can also see that when he does those jump passes. So a lot of the times you'll kind of see him take off a bit early going towards the rim, but he is still stable and balanced and not attacking forcefully to where he can get off some clean, soft finishes inside. That'll wrap it up for this video. Tyrese Haliburton is a unique talent that I don't think we see much of in point guards, as we have transitioned into a league of every position having to do more, especially guards. As a guard, you have to shoot the 3-ball. As a guard, you have to be a shot creator. You have to bend defenses in order to open up that playmaking. Tyrese is such a good damn athletic passing talent that he doesn't really need to be a high-level shot creator to be impactful. It broke my heart seeing the man get injured in Game 7, just a brutal way to go out, and I'm hoping he has a speedy recovery and he gets back to full strength. The man is good for the game of basketball. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more NBA breakdowns like these. And for all that being said, y'all, I'll see you all in the next video.